To expand the conversation, we're joined by Lesego Mateme of the South African Tobacco Free Youth Forum. Lesego, very good evening to you. Thank you for your time. We've just listened there to some of the warnings, especially when it comes to young people and how the numbers keep growing when it comes to young people who are either smoking daily or non-daily tobacco. That number has increased. What does it tell us about exposure and access to tobacco?
Good evening, and thank you so much for inviting us. So I think as you've mentioned, the data that exists that was shared just now in the opening clip by Prof, and many more that exist, it's quite concerning, especially as it pertains to how these products, are taken up by young people, right? I think what these statistics show us is that the tobacco industry has sort of like been succeeding in marketing their products or cleaning up their products, right? And making them seem a bit cool, right? Because we have tobacco products, then you also have nicotine products, right? And then our nicotine products are the ones such as your e-cigarettes as well as your oral nicotine pouches. These products have been specifically created and pioneered by the tobacco industry to lure young people to tobacco use, right? Because tobacco products such as cigarettes are where the market for where the great of, or rather the majority of the market, or where the money is for the tobacco industry, if I can put it that way. So what I've done is that they've introduced, these new products with flavors that are appealing to young people, advertising them on social media, glamorizing them, hooking young children so that they can be hooked to nicotine. And then once the nicotine rather that is delivered by these products is no longer strong enough, young people are bound to transition to traditional cigarettes, and this is supported by data.
So I know that this year the campaign aims to reveal the tactics employed by the tobacco and nicotine industries to make their products appealing, especially, like you mentioned, to young people who are particularly susceptible to marketing, especially to vaping, heated tobacco products and hookah use with attractive packaging and retail outlets luring them in. What needs to happen? Because experts in the industry, researchers, are concerned that the tobacco industry goes a step further by persuading young people that these and other products like a smokeless tobacco pouch taken orally are safe and designed for harm reduction, which is simply not true.
Thank you so much, Mpo. I think there's a technical glitch, so I wasn't able to get most of your question, but I think I did get a chunk of it. So essentially, in answering the first question, one of the main things that I forgot to mention was that what the stats show us is that there aren't a lot of regulation when it comes to how young people are exposed to these products, right? And this then brings me to your second question: what needs to be done, right? It's two things. I think the main thing that is important is public education. Feel like at the community level, these products, especially vapes, the harms thereof, and the detrimental effects of these products on your health are not taken seriously. But then the community is not to blame, because as you've mentioned, the tobacco industry has done a great job in ensuring that these products are seen as less harmful, right? They keep on saying that these products are only for adults, but they almost always are in the hands of children as young as 8 years old, right? They say these products are for adults, but that they come in flavors such as bubblegum, cotton candy, caramel popcorn. They come in these different shapes, forms, and sizes that are very, very attractive to kids. So these products are being targeted to kids. So what I feel like also needs to be done, in addition to public awareness, is regulations, tobacco control policies and regulations in South Africa needs to be strengthened, because as it stands, electronic delivery systems or e-cigarettes are currently not regulated as tobacco products such as your cigarettes are. This means that they can be marketed everywhere, and then they can sell them in any way that they want, right? Which is why they are always in the hands of young people, and which is why they've successfully managed to push these products as safer than cigarettes through influencers which have a high young following, influencers that have an audience that they are intentionally trying to target, which is young people. So the main thing that needs to be done is for stricter laws to be put in place regarding these products, and this is why as a South African Tobacco Free Youth Forum, we stand behind the current Tobacco Products and Electronic Delivery Systems Control Bill, which is currently in Parliament, because it will ensure that the gaps that exist in our tobacco control policy are strengthened and are closed, and this is going to protect young people in South Africa. But
where are
in
some
general,
of those gaps? Pardon the interruption there, Lesego. Where are some of these gaps as you talk about, how this needs to be looked into, and with it, government can find solutions and save lives?
So the main gaps, I think, when the main gaps, in line with also what the theme for World No Tobacco Day this year is highlighting. The first one is on advertising, right? So currently in South Africa, tobacco and nicotine products are able to be marketed at point of sale, right? Advertised at point of sale. So point of sale is any place where selling and buying can happen, right? It can be at a supermarket, it can be at a informal street vendor, or even a mobile vendor, right? That's point of sale. Advertising is currently allowed, but then the issue with advertising at point of sale is that everybody of all ages interfaces with a point of sale, including young people. And then what this does, overexposure to this to these products at point of sale contributes to normalization of these products. And once these products are normalized, it means that young people become more curious about them, right? If I see a box of cigarettes every single day, I'm going to be curious about what this product is, coupled with these products being shown on social media as well and portrayed positively on broadcast media as well, right? So once there's that curiosity, it leads to experimentation. And unfortunately, with products that contain nicotine, a highly addictive substance, trying them can often lead to addiction, right? So the main gap is on advertising. The bill that we are championing calls for a ban on POS, because not only does it expose young people to these products, but it also creates an environment where people who are trying to quit smoking are not able to do so because they're constantly exposed to their triggers. The second one, which is quite important, especially for the South African Tobacco Free Youth Forum, because we are young people, is the regulation of e-cigarettes. As I've mentioned, these products are just are not not regulated, which means that they can be advertised. They're even sold on Uber Eats, which means that young people have as much access to these products as possible. So what this bill seeks to do is ensure that these products are regulated, and the packaging also is not as appealing as it is. So those are the two key gaps, and also things such as the selling of these products on vending machines, because we know that vending machines are not regulated, and vending machines on their own are a form of advertising because of the glass interface. So those are the three key, I feel like, measures that the new bill is trying to introduce, that will ensure that young people are protected from overexposure, because once exposure is cut down, young people will not be initiating.
Very well. Thank you so much, Lesego Mateme of the South African Tobacco Free Youth Forum, joining us there as World No Tobacco Day was marked on May 31st. Today, that is reflecting on some of the dangers